You're listening to the 808s and Joysticks podcast, now available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome to the E3 coverage special of 808s and Joysticks. In this show, we will be discussing Xbox's Conference 2019. I'm Tairell, and joining me for this special, as always, is Tom.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff that Microsoft unpacked throughout their conference. Was it 60 plus games, they said? So there's quite a lot there. We're going to try our best to cover most of it. But obviously some of those games included were indies in a showreel, stuff that they sort of put in just to fill it out to make it seem like they've showed off more games than they have. But they did show off some very interesting stuff here. And we're going to start by talking about the Outer Worlds, because we got to see a bit of gameplay for that. Now, obviously this is made by Obsidian. We've discussed it before on the show. And they have made sort of RPGs like Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity. Microsoft acquired them last year, which we spoke about. And now this game, The Outer Worlds, is coming out on October 25th to PlayStation, Xbox One and PC. And really, it just looks like a really good sort of, RPG game that people that love Fallout, especially Fallout New Vegas, will definitely like. What are your opinions on this? Did you like the trailer?
I liked the trailer, but what I was concerned about was just how it kind of looked a little bit like an older game. Like, it didn't look really like as polished as some of the newer games that are coming out. So, like, that's not like a knock, but it just kind of still kind of felt like a Fallout game, like really kind of a little bit more. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm being really nitpicky, but like, it just, the style of it seems still very Fallout. Like it didn't seem like it progressed much. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm wrong, and I bet you like people will be like, "What are you talking about? Totally looks new." Like, but I can see where they're still trying to liken it to the whole Fallout, but like trying to introduce like a new thing where like you can decide what type of person you are. Like, whereas like you're a villain, a hero, or a psychopath. There's like seem to be like the three paths that you can take when you are playing this game. And isn't The Outer Worlds also an Epic exclusive, or is it not?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, The Outer Worlds is also an Epic.
It'll probably be a timed exclusive.
That's really weird that Microsoft acquired Obsidian, but it's an Epic exclusive. Why is it not a Windows Store exclusive?
You ask Microsoft. Saying that though, it is still coming to PS4, so it does seem like those deals would have been in place
ages
before.
ago. Yeah, because wasn't it crowdfunded as well?
I believe so, possibly.
Because that's what everyone was kicking off with Epic, which is by the way, Epic is also just announced another crowdfunded game. Shenmue 3 is going to be an Epic exclusive. So yeah, Epic's really cleaning house, and at this point, it's just turning more into like they're just buying everything up within the market.
They also sponsored the PC Gaming Show this year.
Oh fucking hell! That's just wow. Yeah, they're really trying to come for everyone, aren't they? Like, it's a bit crazy. Yeah, that was just like it just seemed really vast. I don't really understand like what you can do. I hope it's fun, and I hope it doesn't have the same pitfalls as some of these open world games, and it just gets boring, and like it just has just pointless side missions everywhere, and the main story is not that long. So yeah, I hope it's good for the Fallout fans, that like that style of gameplay that have been let down by Bethesda in recent times.
Mm-hmm. If done correctly, it could be something like Fallout crossed with No Man's Sky, with a bit of I don't know, not so much BioShock, but like We Happy Few threw in there as well. You know, there's a bit of psychotic stuff in there, a bit of not supernatural stuff, but stuff that's a bit crazy. And And I think, whilst it does try and pull a lot from Fallout, and you can tell it does veer off in its own direction a lot as well. It does, by the looks of it, what Fallout does, and then did its own thing as well. Whether that's going to work or not, we'll have to wait and see. But it looks impressive. Again, I was more excited about this when it was originally announced. Now I don't know if it's because there's better games coming out, but I'm not really that interested in it. Though I'll probably take a look at it when it does come out.
Yeah, same. I feel the same as well. I wasn't really interested when I seen this new trailer. I was kind of like, meh, not really that great. Like, it's just okay. So yeah, that really kind of summed up some of like the great games that are coming out. Like, that is probably going to be a really good game, but just not as impressive as some of these other games that have been premiered or announced prior to E3. Or premiered at E3, should I say. But yeah, moving on from that, we've got so many things to get through. Bleeding Edge, which is the brand new game from Ninja Theory, which is like a colorful multiplayer game, like really colorful. The art style is so crazy and really distinct, and the gameplay looks really, really cool as well. Looks like they're trying to come for that kind of like Overwatch market, but kind of doing the more mature take on it, much more stylized and kind of like much more mature as in like sense of like the weaponry used in there is much more like adult rather than like Overwatch is a bit more cartoonish, more towards children / teenagers. Not to say that it's not for adults either, just saying that that's the art style that they went for, whereas this is a bit more quote unquote, it's called Bleeding Edge. Well, it's a bit more edgy, should I say. But yeah, I think it looks really interesting. I'm not quite sure if this is going to get a release on the PS4. It just said Xbox and PC for now, and I think it's going to be and it's going to be a part of Xbox's Game Pass as well on release. And the technical alpha starts on June 29th, and I think I might try and see if I can try and get into it, because you can sign up now because the game looks really cool. So what do you think about this? Oh yeah, it will be an exclusive because Ninja Theory is now a Microsoft studio. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, for people that like Overwatch, it might be a good game for them, but I feel like that market's already covered. I'm not really sure why they're making this. Like, when I saw it, I didn't think Ninja Theory would be making this game, which sort of threw me off a little bit. The game looks good, the gameplay looks good, but my interest in it is not very high. I don't think it's going to be that successful. I say that now, but I feel like there's too niche of a market for it there. And I
understand.
I think Ninja Theory could have made a much better game doing something else. Like, if Microsoft are going to take over these studios and then stuff like this is going to be made, then I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be a good ploy. They're not known for making games like this. They make Devil May Cry, Hellblade, like
Heavenly
very
Sword
good games. Yeah. Well, 3 very good games. They're completely different to this. Now, why they couldn't make something similar to what they've made before, I don't know, but I'd rather them not try and go more Xbox friendly and just stick to what they do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because when I seen it, I was like, wow, like Ninja Theory did this, but like Hellblade is like so different compared to this game, and plus this is an online only game. Could this, like, is this Microsoft's doing maybe, or is this a decision by Ninja Theory? Also, is this going to be free because we didn't really get any clarification on that either. Or is this going to be a paid game? Because I'm not really sure if there was enough for me there to see that I need to pay for this game. Now, Overwatch is successful in doing that because it has a multitude of maps and a multitude of characters, and it's had good, steady updates. I'm just curious to see this is like a brand new IP from a studio that doesn't typically do online games, whereas Blizzard has done online games and has only done online games. So I'm like, their whole existence as a company is online games, whereas Ninja Theory, I don't think I've ever attempted to do online. So I just want to see how this is gonna end up. But yeah, that's all I really got to say on it. Because we have to move on because we have a very interesting looking game, and I'm quite excited for it after I've seen the trailer. For Ori and the Will of the Wisps, it just looks crazy. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's the second game in the series, but if you like sort of these sort of games, it does look very interesting. I like the sort of 2D, but not 2D. It's like forced perspective in a way. Like, I like the style of the game. The aesthetic of it is very nice. It definitely seems like an interesting game. It's something a bit different. But saying that, the first one was a very good game, and I've no doubt that this is also going to be a very good game.
But this one looks so different to like the first game, like leaps and bounds, like different. Like it has like a totally different kind of like gameplay style almost.
Well, I think you can tell the budget's probably gone up for this.
Yeah,
since the first one, but it looks good. I'm not sure if that's coming to Game Pass. But a lot of these are coming to like Game Pass, what is it, Game Pass Plus or whatever it's called, on release. So, yeah, it is coming to Game Pass. Saying that, sorry, it is. So it is coming to Game Pass, yeah.
Coming 2020 though.
To get Game Pass.
Coming 2020 is pretty surprising. As I said, like a bunch of these games are coming 2020, which is like not far away, but it kind of is though. Like, this game was announced in 2017. Now, that's like 3 years.
The theme of this E3 was 2020. But saying that, like you've just said then, this game was announced in 2017. The reason that they've stopped doing that now is because people overhype stuff and then don't buy it. So I think they've worked it out now. All the companies have gone, okay, we're not going to announce stuff that is like just starting development. Like, we'll announce it when we have a release date for it, or it's far enough along that we can show people gameplay from it. Because it used to just be like a trailer with no gameplay, and it's just like, oh, this game coming soon, and then you never hear anything about it for like 8 years, and then it finally comes out, and then no one wants to play it because it's been 8 years. Yeah,
exactly. Well, a lot of games fell down to that, like The Last Guardian. Trying to think what other games. Crackdown 3, Duke Nukem Forever. There's so many games that like have fell down on just being delayed and cancelled to hell. So yeah. Either way, Ori and the Will of the Wisps looks really cool. So check it out if you have a chance in 2020 on February the 11th. Moving on again, we have Minecraft Dungeons, local 4-player online co-op. Looks like a cool little dungeon crawler, like if you ask me. Again, spring 2020 though, so is this like this looks like a game that should have been like, yo, it's out today. Like, I felt like that would have really worked, but I don't think people are going to be really anticipating it all the way until spring 2020. What's your thoughts?
I think you underestimate the Minecraft community, or people that are going to be playing this game, like a dungeon crawler in the style of Minecraft.
It does look hard.
Excite a lot of people.
It does look hard. Like I'll definitely be down. Like me, you, and like 2 other people would start like going in the dungeons and fucking shit up. Like I'll be down for that. Definitely.
Yeah, it does look interesting. It's very sort of similar to a lot of other dungeon crawlers we've seen before, but obviously it can play on the fact that it's got that Minecraft brand behind it now, and that iconic style, you know, the box style that Minecraft uses.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll play on that and use that, but you know, it does look good. It looks well done. The gameplay we've seen looks pretty polished. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it to mobile at some point, but it is coming to Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Game Pass, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. So it looks like a Switch game, and if all those rumours that are true that we've been hearing for ages now about Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch at some point, then this is going to be a game that you could pick up on Game Pass and play on PC and on your Switch with the Game Pass as well, if that's true. You know, it's just speculation that we've heard over the last 6 months, but if so, that's like one of the perfect games that you could play on both sort of consoles using that Game Pass. You know, even if you want to play PC and Xbox, you could do the same thing. You know, but it looks interesting. I'm probably not going to hold my hopes up for it, but when it comes out, if I have a Game Pass, then I'll probably try it. But apart from that, I'm not going to sit here and wait for it, you know. It's not something that's really on the top of my list of priorities for games. I know. Other stuff after that, there's Star Wars Jedi again. We've already discussed this, so if you want to hear our detailed thoughts about that, then go check out our show on EA, our EA coverage, and we discussed that in more detail over there. We didn't really see too much different in the Microsoft trailer, so there was nothing really to discuss there about that. But then, a big, interesting one, a horror game coming to Xbox only, apparently. Now, I'm not sure if Xbox only is sort of the best way to do it, but it does look an interesting game. I'm not going to reveal the name of the game yet, because, you know, they didn't, but it did look interesting. At the start, I thought it was another Outlast or something. I think we quickly had like a 2-minute discussion about it before we started recording, and you mentioned that it looked very similar to Outlast for you as well.
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts on it when you were seeing the trailer?
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, well, what even is this? I thought it was going to be Outlast 3. When like the camera like was flipped out, I was like, oh. When as more and more I seen it, I was like, wait a minute, like this really reminds me of something. And then the name comes out there, and like zooms out of like the field, and then you see like a familiar like kind of like insignia, and it's Blair Witch, which is really weird that they're just calling it Blair Witch and not Blair Witch Project, which is suggesting that this story might actually explain what this like legend is about, rather than just the experiences or like a documentary style film like based upon the Blair Witch Project, which is what a lot of people get confused about. Blair Witch is the fact that like it's usually like it's not real, but it's like a fake documentary like about something else that happened at Blair Witch, or it's weird. The films themselves are really weird, and the film ends really weird as well. And in the gameplay reveal trailer, there's a scene in there that's exactly like the film. So I'm quite interested. It looks like a cool horror game. I've been playing horror games lately, and yeah, I'm looking to get into them more and more. Yeah, what did you think about the trailer?
Well, first off, I thought it was Outlast, and then obviously it cuts to like the day, and you're in the car, and It says like 1996 September, and the guy's driving in the car, and I thought, hang on, is this going to be like another Alan Wake? Because I'm down for another Alan Wake. And then was left a bit disappointed because I built myself up to it being Alan Wake.
But it wasn't.
And then you started seeing like a lot more scary stuff, and I was like, oh, Alan Wake was never like this scary. And then Blair Witch, like, it looks interesting. It'd probably be a good horror game. The fact that it's Xbox only is a bit...
Yeah, that like took it out of me a little bit. Like, I don't know why you would do it Xbox only, but I guess, like...
I don't know if it is Xbox only. It didn't say anything at the end.
Is this going to be like a full...
A lot of people are reporting it.
Is this going to be like a full game, or is it going to be like kind of like a shorter game, like a just a first person, or kind of like an indie title? I'm actually not quite sure who made this as well. So it's just Microsoft like behind this, like a Microsoft studio must be.
It is coming to Xbox Game Pass, Xbox One, and Windows PC on August 30th. So we'll find out then.
Okay,
but it's coming out pretty soon. That's August 30th of this year, 2019. So there's another horror game coming right in time for Halloween as well. Right in time for the month of October. So you got a lot of horror games coming to fill your boots then.
Fill your boots. Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about this or get in on this, but should we just talk about how fucking, like, that Keanu Reeves, like, he just comes on the stage. Why did the crowd love him so much?
Because it's Keanu.
But it was just...
He is... I don't know, he's just everything.
It was just so joke the way how everyone was, like, so hyped to see Keanu Reeves. Like, they couldn't even let him get a word out. Like, it was just so funny.
I think it's more the shock. Like, you didn't expect it. Because even I was messaging you about the announcement of Cyberpunk 2077 like coming out on stage, and then suddenly like Keanu Reeves walks out, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, where did this guy come from? When was he in the game?
I know, after we heard like rumors that Lady Gaga was supposed to be in the game, and obviously Keanu, it just makes it feel like there's going to be more real life actors in the game, and I'm excited to see what we're going to see again in 2020. That's the new year that everyone wants to release now.
Yeah, but it's not that far, This game was announced back in 2013 or 14 with a small snippet trailer, with no gameplay at all. It was literally just like one sort of, I don't know, one scene of animation, and that was it. And everyone got hyped for this game. And then it went a bit dead. And then they started to reveal more stuff now because it's getting to the stage where it's ready. And it looks very good. Like, apparently the game's changed a lot since the gameplay reveal we got from CD Projekt Red earlier this year or late last year.
Mm-hmm.
No, it would have been last year, actually. Apparently the game's changed a lot since then. And, I mean, the fact that we're getting actors included in the game, and it's quite a big story around it as well. It leads into it being possibly one of the best games of, well, it's going to release in 2020, so not this century, but maybe next century.
No, it would be this century. It would be. You mean this decade?
Yeah, this decade.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this century, there's not a lot of games that have been released this century. It's like every game since 2000. So.
Yeah, that's like 20 years, well, nearly 20 years of games.
Yeah, it's hard to put it in that category.
Yeah, but the trailer was really cool. It showed the player like that you've like customized. It just looks sick. I can't wait to play it. It just looks so sick. I need to get into the world. Like, I just know I'm gonna just sink so much time into it. Like, I can't wait. So, Cyberpunk 2077 coming April 16th, 2020 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC. So, get ready for that. we've got a couple like little indie titles here and there. We're just gonna discuss these like really quick because time is running for us. And so did you see the trailer for this game, Spiritfarer? It's really, really nice. Like I love the art style and I like the gameplay mechanics. It's a management game, but it's a very unusual management game where you build like a houseboat and you take undead like animal spirits to the afterlife. It just looks like a really nice game. I would love to play like to relax. Like it doesn't seem to be too much is going on. The most I think going on is like your boat gets attacked by like lightning strikes, which I guess can be scary in a game like this. But
it didn't. To me, it didn't like catch my attention.
Oh, you wasn't feeling it
until sort of the end, and you know the spirit thing made a little bit more sense, but. I don't know, I think like as a casual game, it looks like a very nice casual game.
Yeah.
You build a boat, guide undead spirits into the afterlife. It seems like a nice game. A bit of purpose behind it as well.
I just liked how the art style kind of reminded me of like Adventure Time / regular show. Like it was just a nice, satisfying, they call it like what, cow arts or whatever. It's just like a nice, satisfying like art style. They looked really smooth and like a cartoon. And I enjoy stuff like that.
The actual concept of it reminded me a little bit of Spirited Away, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Not none of the art style or anything like that, but just like the concept of the spirits and stuff like that.
I wish we had like a Spirited Away type like S game with that kind of art style. Yeah. Following on from that, we had the new rebooted Battletoads, which has been like teased forever. Like looks pretty cool. I don't really have much to say about this. It's not really my era of gaming.
Yeah,
so
it just looks like a brawler party game.
Yeah, it just looks alright. Like not really much else to say about Battletoads. Now this looks sick. RPG Time: The Legend of Wright. I don't know how they did this. I don't know, like, it's a dungeon crawler, like, drawing game from Osaka, Japanese-based developer, Deskworks, and it looks insane. Like, I really want to know what engine they used, how did they make this game? It just looks crazy. Have you seen this?
Yeah, it does look insane for... It's in the vein that, like, the first time Cuphead was shown.
Yeah, that's... Exactly that.
But this takes it to like another level.
I just don't know how they did it. Like the way how they have like the pages flipping over and like you have like 3D perspective. It's like Paper Mario on acid. It's crazy. So yeah it's very interesting. I look forward to playing such a crazy game like this. When I played Cuphead, I was blown away. But all these games that are using the drawn art style I don't know how they do it because that must take so many frames of animation to get things done like that. Like, it's just insane. That is also coming to Xbox and PC only in 2020. Yeah, then Xbox had like all of their indie titles and stuff on there, like Microsoft Idea Xbox. Yeah, and they were all going to be available in the Xbox Games Pass, which is also now as well. Which is a big announcement. It's now on PC. Is it launched yet, Tom, or soon?
I think it's launching soon, but I'm not entirely sure because I did go to sign up and the website was down at the time that I went to sign up. So,
well, it says Microsoft also talked about the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. Now I don't know what that means. So
yeah, the Ultimate is you get Game Pass. And then you can you get Game Pass for console, Xbox Live Gold, and Game Pass for PC all in one.
Oh shit, that's hard.
$14.99 a month.
That's really hard. Wow, that's really impressive. Like that's really like a good bargain.
You can join the beta now on PC for $3.99 a month. Or you can join an E3 special at the moment. Join for £1 for your first month, and you can do that with the Ultimate plan as well. So you can get Xbox Live Gold, access to console and PC games, and I think you get like exclusive member discounts. You play 4 days early on consoles and PC compared to standard retail.
Wow.
You get deals with gold, games with gold, console multiplayer on gold, and I think you also get Gears 5 Ultimate Edition included in that as well.
What the hell?
On the Games Pass when it's released. If you have the
Xbox is really they're gonna turn that Game Pass into like an actual service, aren't they, soon? Well, that's what they've already turned it into, really.
Everyone is doing it now, though, by the looks of it.
It's Google. Google's on everyone's neck. But obviously, like, we know that Sony and Xbox are working together closely now, and Nintendo's working with Microsoft too. So this is really interesting. This could it be like the console? Everyone from like the console era looks like they're like all teaming up to go against like the digital era. Like, it's like weird. Like, they really want to fight against like the Apples and the Googles, because they're like feeling, and the Amazons as well. Like that, like they're feeling threatened by those kind of people, because everyone's trying to get a piece of the gaming market at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it makes sense. The best one I've seen is the Xbox Game Pass. Ubisoft did announce something to do with theirs as well, and we'll discuss that in the Ubisoft rundown that we do. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff here that is included in the Games Pass. New games that are coming to the Game Pass include stuff like Gears, Metro Exodus, Forza Horizon 4 that you can get. You know, there's a lot of good quality first-party games here. And a lot of the games they announced today will be coming to Game Pass as well. So there's a lot of things that are going to be on the Game Pass. You know, State of Decay 2's on there, a good multiplayer game. Sea of Thieves, another decent multiplayer game. Minecraft is on there now, I think. You know, the games library for this is pretty much incredible, especially if you have more than one person playing on a Game Pass. You know, if there's two of you playing on the Game Pass. Metro Exodus obviously just come out recently now on Game Pass, so that's new. But you have loads of stuff. You have things like Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which has just come on there. Dead by Daylight. You have other things like Brothers, Thimbleweed Park, if you're into different stuff like that. Hollow Knight.
Wow.
Wolfenstein 2. Shenmue 1 and 2.
Wow.
You know, there's so much stuff on here. There's over 100 games that you can get for $7.99 a month. You know, all the Halos are on here now. The Master Chief Collection is on. It's actually on the Game Pass, so you can play that. I
might actually have to cop the Game Pass for like that little £1, so I can actually play some of the Halo games, because that's one series I've never really played thoroughly. So maybe it's time for me to actually like get it. Like, it's weird now because I got an Xbox, and now Xbox is basically moving to PC a lot. So yeah, that's a bit crazy. Either way, Games Pass is looking great. I know PlayStation have got plans in the future to increase their PS Now like library. They had we spoke about that on the last main show.
Some interesting things, by the way, that are included in the Game Pass. Monster Hunter World.
Oh shit.
And Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition. And Tomb Raiders. Now, some of these are only available on console, and some are available on console and PC.
Oh, okay.
But for what you're getting for the money, it's probably worth it. You know, there is a lot of games available on here. Even if you like Football Manager, they announced that that's going to be on there as well. So it's not just purely sort of games that are big AAA games or
popular old titles. Games.
Yeah. It is basically they're just filling the library up with as much as they can.
That is just sick. It's a good initiative that Xbox is doing. Like, it makes games a little bit more affordable if you already have like a decent PC or an Xbox and you can't afford to buy the brand new games as they come out. You could just have this monthly subscription and you can pay to play these exclusive games, and you don't have to be tied down into anything. If you don't like it, you can play this game and not have to try and beg back for a refund from a company, you know, a la Bethesda with Fallout 76. You know, you can just pay for a month and be like, download the game, try it out, and be like, I don't really like it. Play another game. So that's really cool. And you can choose from hundreds of titles now. So yeah, that's insane. Definitely will want to invest in that in the future. Yeah, moving on anyway, because we still got a few titles and time is ticking. Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is, I guess, cool. Like, I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts or feelings towards this game. Like, what are you thinking? I feel like you deal with things like this much more than me.
Well, I was just joking when I sent you a text, as in like, oh, Flight Simulator's back. But to be fair, Flight Simulator is back. They have like reimagined it, and it does look beautiful. Like, it really does look like what you used to think Flight Simulator looked like when you were a kid. When you got that free CD with your PC, you put it in and you're there with like a joystick that you got for like £5 down at the shop, or you got included with your PC for free. You know, it was very limited for games back then. Flight Simulator was like one of the best ones because you could fly a plane.
But the question is, can you crash?
I don't know. I'm guessing so. But again, that is coming to Xbox Game Pass, so
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This looks crazy. Like, what kind of engine and everything are they using for this? This looks insane. Why games should always look like this? Like, why? What?
They have said though that it is it's going to have challenging weather conditions and take advantage of Microsoft Azure AI.
Wow!
And for the first time, I think it is coming to consoles as well.
Yeah, because it's always been a PC only series, so that's really interesting as well. Yeah, Microsoft digging back in the library to get that old gem out. That's going to make a lot of Flight Simulator fans happy that have been wanting to play an official version rather than like other companies that have tried to do their own reimagining of the series. Yeah, don't really have much to say about this. Age of Empires 2 getting a remaster. I know you're in on these kind of strat games more than me.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought it'd already come out, but apparently not.
Here we go then. Well, maybe this must be another remaster because I thought there was an Age of Empires 2 remaster as well.
There is Age of Empires 2 remastered because I have that. This is the definitive edition. This is like a remake as such. So they're basically updating everything to use modern technology now.
Oh, okay. So it's from the ground up?
Proper 3D models and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from the ground up. But I still thought that this version had already been released, but it hasn't, obviously. If you're a fan of Age of Empires, it's probably worth picking up. There is going to be a new sort of campaign in there, I think they mentioned. So it's worth having a look at. But, you know, if you want a cheaper option, you can pick up the remastered version anyway. There's not going to be too much difference, I don't think. But if you are someone that's like a big dedicated fan and a stickler for details, then, you know, anyone that's like an RTS fan, it's probably one of the best ones that was made. So, you know, pick it up if you are interested in that. It is coming to Xbox and PC, so it'll be the first time Age of Empires is on Xbox as well, I believe. It's interesting, something different to give like an Xbox fan. If you haven't got a PC, you can now play an RTS game on your console.
Yeah, it'd be really, really cool. Also another one, like Microsoft seems to have a couple of strategy games because Wasteland 3 seems to be like kind of like a little bit of like a, I don't know what you call this kind of style of gameplay, but like kind of a little bit like a dungeon crawler, but it isn't. It's like a kind of like a bird's eye view type like game. I'm not really quite sure what they were like trying to like do with it, but I know people who love games like this, and I guess it's interesting that games like this can still be popular in this kind of climate where like everything is super polished and AAA and shooting and first person and online. This looks like a pretty fun game, very different. Has its own like little like unique character to it. It's called Wasteland 3, and it is the next entry in Exile Entertainment like series that they have. I don't think I've ever really played the Wasteland games, but this is another Microsoft studio because they acquired In Exile in 2018 again. So Microsoft really is coming hard with the first party exclusives, but some of them are still much more smaller on scale than maybe a PlayStation title.
Mm-hmm. And like sort of leading on from that is a big announcement they made at the show where the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, announced that their newest acquisition would be Double Fine Productions.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're going to just skip over his name. What?
Matt Booty.
Why is his name Matt Booty?
Don't ask me. But yeah, Tim Schafer did come out onto the stage. Tim Schafer being a big name in the gaming industry for a long time now. Double Fine Productions, obviously, have made Psychonauts. They also, I think Tim Schafer also had some sort of hand in Escape from Monkey Island, stuff like that. And they announced Psychonauts 2 on the stage here. It was a bit of a weird thing for me to see. I know that they've started publishing games themselves, Double Fine. A game called Ooblets, which is like a Stardew Valley crossed with Pokemon. They are publishing that now. But I know that was a Microsoft exclusive a while ago. And now it makes sense as to why, obviously, because Double Fine had been taken over by Microsoft. But Tim Schafer sort of went off to do his own indie thing. I didn't think that he'd ever sell to someone, but he did come out in an interview and say that the money was just too good, and he couldn't turn it down. So, I think he's still got creative control over what he wants to do, but
that doesn't sound good. Like, the money's too good.
Well, the thing is, Double Fine is still quite a small company. If someone comes offering a big amount of money to purchase them, then he's probably going to take that and still run the studio.
Yeah. Well, Psychonauts looks sick. Like, looks really good. Looks like a really unique gameplay style, and I like the way how it looks. It's interesting that they went with Xbox though, because I know Psychonauts 2 has been like a very anticipated sequel for a lot of people. So I wonder how people are actually going to feel about this.
Yeah, well, luckily it will come to PC as well. So it does look like if you're a PlayStation gamer or an Xbox gamer, you are going to likely to have a PC and a console at some point now. There doesn't seem to be any getting away from that anymore.
Well, let's not even be too worried anyway, Tom, because Microsoft do have that partnership now with Nintendo, and there's going to be more to that. And nothing was said, I don't think, at this E3, but we know that means games are going to be shared across platforms. I think, anyway. They were saying that, weren't they? They were saying that some Xbox games could be heading to the Switch. So maybe this could mean Psychonauts might be on the Switch. So that's another console opportunity there that you might be able to play this game on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Moving on to the big one, though. The big announcement. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. All 9 movies in one big game. Redone from the ground up. A brand new Lego Star Wars.
That does sound pretty hard, though. Like, when I really think about it, I thought, that's a bit stupid. And I was like, why would I play the same games again? But all 9, like, that must take you forever to play the game. Like, how long is that going to take?
I don't know. I can't imagine it's going to be like, it's not remastered versions. It's just they're making Lego Star Wars, but now all 9 films are in one game. So instead of doing like a game for every film, it's now going to be like, or a game for every 3 films. It's now all the films are in the one game now.
Yeah, it's got content based on all 9 films, including the Rise of the Skywalker as well. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, well, Lego games, they're pretty fun. This is an interesting take. I wonder how long the game's going to be, because the films all combine, like not all 9 Star Wars films. Like, I don't even know what the timing on that is. A lot.
It would be like 20 hours worth of. Yeah, probably around 20 hours worth of actual sort of gameplay.
Okay.
So it's not too bad.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to actually see it like come out.
Yeah, I'm excited because the best thing about the Star Wars games, the Lego ones, was being able to change your character and going back to the home screen and collecting all the different characters and just being able to change them all out. Now, with a roster of 9 films of characters, you're going to be able to do like so much more. And also, there's the co-op stuff, multiplayer stuff. Like, it's not a game that's going to be like sit down, play it by yourself solo game. Like, this is a game that you play for fun. Or maybe it is a game that you sit down and play by yourself because you can do that. And if it's good enough, then there's no reason why you can't.
It's also like a nice way to introduce the Star Wars series to someone who may not want to watch all the films or can't really get past the films, because I'm not gonna lie, some of the films are quite hard to get through, and there's parts where not a lot is going on. So I can see how this could be a nice introduction to people who want to get interested in Star Wars but don't necessarily want to watch all the films. But if you are getting into Star Wars, I would suggest to watch all the films though. So but moving on, as I said, we don't have much time left. Dragon Ball Z, the role-playing game, which was previously known as Project Z, is now known as Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which will explore the key moments from the TV show. Looks like basically like a Budokai type game with all the key moments from Dragon Ball again. I don't know how, like, this could be good and bad, because like we played this kind of game already, and I want to know how much role playing will be in there compared to action, because to me it looks like just an open world Dragon Ball game, which we already have in Xenoverse. So I don't really know how they could really switch it up and to introduce much more role playing game like elements to make a difference to the Budokai series, if you know what I mean. So we'll see. It's coming in early 2020 for consoles and PC. So this is not an Xbox exclusive. So we'll see. We'll just have to see on that. Quick thoughts on the game.
Yeah, it looked interesting. I agree with you. I think that I'm not sure where they're going to take it with the role-playing aspect of it, but I'm hoping they've called it an RPG, an action RPG. So obviously there's going to be a lot of action, but I hope that they don't move away from the RPG aspect as such and they keep some of that in there still as well. Otherwise, it is just another Dragon Ball game. Whereas if they add the extra element, then it can really distinguish it from the others.
Yeah, it can. I think it's going to be interesting anyway. I look forward to it because I really like Dragon Ball FighterZ. So it's really gotten me back into Dragon Ball and watching the anime. And it's an interesting IP to tackle, and hopefully an RPG does well for the game and for the series as a whole. Yeah, and then like moving on with that, we have another very interesting game that just looks really weird and kind of twisted, and it's like an interactive game. from judging from the trailer, I'm not quite sure how it works, but I know there's some type of like time travel element within the game.
So it looks like the guy's stuck in a time loop, I'm guessing, of 12 minutes, and you constantly have to play through those 12 minutes, is what I'm thinking. But I'm guessing every time that you do something and go back in time, or forward in time, then it affects whatever happens at that point as well. So you have to like try and remember what you've done, or try and like work out what to do with the situation, because it'll be constantly changing, I'm guessing.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Really interesting concept. Something that like is a small game compared to the roster that's here that Xbox announced, but it stood out to me as like one of the best games that I'd seen there. Like, it was just so creative. Like, it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be a game that you can sit down with and like really think about.
Yeah.
But there's not much on the screen, but there's enough there that you have to like think about it and put it together in your own head.
It just looks insane. Like, I just like the way how like it just shows a story, an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. It just like the story of it just looks insane. Like, there's like a man that comes to like tie them up, and then like there's one scene that shows his wife is dead, and there's like another scene where the man is getting beaten up by like another like mysterious man. It just looks sick. Like, I like the forced perspective of just like the room. It's a very interesting and clever way to design a game, and very different. I wish I thought of that. Like, it really, really does look really cool. Yeah, moving on, we have another game which is a bit more of like, it just looks a bit more conceptual, if anything, where you basically just play as like an exploring deer. So, yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I wasn't really like impressed by this one.
I feel like a lot of these games already exist. You know, where like kind of like nature-driven games where like you just explore stuff and just you do these nice little cute things and you collect things. Like, I don't really know what's the point of doing all these kind of like these Zelda type games that are not Zelda, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't really get it. I mean, it looks interesting. It's got some cool mechanics in there. It's a little bit like the Unfinished one at some points, where you have to use your antlers to light the way, and it's quite dark, and you collect light from different sources.
Yeah.
So that looks like an interesting concept. Everything else, though, it just seemed a bit like Deer Simulator, but like it looked like a nice, pretty deer simulator.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't really like figure out what the real point of it was, but then again,
I don't think there is a point to it. I think Way to the Woods is like the point to it. You just have to get to the woods.
We're just trying to get back, like we've been like stranded in the city or something.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just like a relaxing, make your way back sort of game. A little bit like in the style maybe of like Journey or something. You know, there's just like the point of the game is like to like look nice and be relaxful, but also like just have a purpose just at the end of it. Like, there's a little bit more going on here than Journey. I don't really want to compare it to Journey that much, but you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The antlers seem to be a big part to it, and that's sort of going to be the interesting thing about this game, is how you light the way to the woods, I'm guessing, using your antlers. So, I don't know. You're a magical deer in an exploration game. It sort of explains itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to talk about, like, I already thought like the Gears 5 announcement was really lackluster. Like, I didn't get the Gears 5 announcement. Yeah, like you're announcing the next series and one of your biggest series, and you just announced it with like just a cinematic saying September the 10th. Like,
they copied they used Billie Eilish as the backing track.
Yeah.
And then copied the video as well by having the three faces. So
was that like intentional or like?
Yeah, it must have been intentional. But it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like they put a lot of effort into it. I mean, the trailer, like, it's a nice cinematic, but how much effort went into it? Like, could they not have just gone, okay, this game's coming out September 10th, shall we, like, do a gameplay trailer? But no,
people hate this trailer.
Is enough.
People hate this trailer.
I hate this trailer.
Fuck.
I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not enough for me. You know, the Gears name is not enough for me to just buy something based off that. Same.
But yeah, I ain't gonna talk about this as well. This bullshit. $180 for a controller. You must got me fucked up.
I didn't realize it was $180.
You must have got me fucked up, Tom. Can't you get a Switch nearly for that price?
Yeah, I must say, to be fair, the controller looks really good. Like, I was going to actually praise it, but I didn't realize it was $180.
Well,
that's a little bit too much for a controller for me.
I don't think I'll ever be paying that much for a controller. You can literally buy whole consoles for nearly that price. I don't understand.
No, the most I'll ever pay for a controller is probably for a Joy-Con, which is around £70 for a pair of them.
Which isn't even that bad. Could be so much more worse.
But, you know, something like a PlayStation or Xbox controller, if I can try and get it for £30 or less, I will. Because at the end of the day, it's just a controller, you know. Yeah, you've got 30 new ways to play like a pro, and you can modularly take things out and buy more stuff to put in it and do whatever the hell you want, and you've got 3 profiles and whatnot. It's cool, but, you know, are you going to make the use of that or not? Probably not.
Exactly.
Unless you're a dedicated esports gamer. But even then, are you going to make the use of that? I don't know. Possibly not.
$180 though. That's just so, like, $100 maybe, but $180 is so much money. Like, fuck. Like, wow. It's just too much. Moving on to, well, kind of positive, but not, because, I don't know, like, I don't know what it is with the trailers. Like, it's like people just weren't putting their all into it that much. It's just a bunch of announcement dates. So, yeah, Dying Light 2 didn't really show us any much more perspective on the game than it did last year. Like, last year did a much better explanation of what's going on in the game and the world, whereas this one really just looked like an open world survival game rather than even a zombie game. Like, so what did you think of, like, this official gameplay trailer?
To be fair, I didn't know it was Dying Light until the end. I was trying to work out what game it was. I was like, this game looks pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of parkour in it. It looks like Mirror's Edge with zombies. I was like, what's this? And I was like, oh, Dying Light 2. I thought it was going to be, like, more story-based.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, remember when we first got this game? Why is it turned into something that I felt like it's going to be just, like, it's going to be kind of a little bit story-based, but it's going to be just objectives? I'm not feeling that if it's going to be like that.
I don't know. The good thing is, I do think that it's, it's still going to be
what we expect.
Co-op.
Yeah.
I think it might fall short of that whole big co-op story adventure thing, but the bit that made me sort of think about it was the end, where he says that he's infected and he has the thing on his arm and it counts down like how long he's got left, I'm guessing, until he gets fully infected.
Yeah.
So, by the looks of it, it looks like he's trying to do good before he becomes infected. So he's trying to make people stop fighting and realize that they need to stand together before that happens.
That's interesting. I didn't really think about that.
So I think that's where the story aspect plays in a little bit, because we've seen a lot of the decision making before that as well, last year.
Yeah.
So I think, whilst we didn't see a lot, we also saw a lot last year. So I think I'd sort of forgive them on that behalf.
Okay, now that you've put it into that perspective, I'm a little bit more hopeful about the game. I hope it still has all the decision making in there that we seen last year, because that's what really made me excited about the game in the first place, and the co-op as well, of course. So I'm hopeful coming to consoles and PC in spring 2020. This I really don't give a shit about. Forza Horizon 4, the Lego trailer. I think this is the first year we haven't had a Forza game. I think. Don't we usually get one a year?
Yeah, it normally rotates around.
Yeah, so we usually get Forza, not Horizon. What's the other one called?
It's just Forza
Motorsport. And we haven't got it.
I don't know. I don't really get the point in Lego everywhere and Lego cars. I don't get it. Really don't get it.
Neither do I. It just seems really silly in my opinion. I just don't know why this would be DLC. Like, who would really want to pay for this? Like, I get it. Like, I really do get it, but at the same time, it's just... It just looks goofy. They should have just gave it away for free. I don't know who's paying for this. Like, I wouldn't be paying for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing someone's already paid for it. Comes out tomorrow, June 13th. So if you're interested in that, then go buy it. Another thing that we're not that interested in, I haven't even asked you, but I already know. Gears Pop. Are you interested in Gears Pop?
No, I am not interested in Gears Pop.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer's really good, and then it cuts to the gameplay, and oh my god, what a pile of shit that gameplay is.
It just looks like ass. Like,
you can't announce this last year and have a year build up and then do all this great animation in the trailer again in pop form and then go, oh, this is the gameplay. Look at this. Like, really? Are you just trying to make that much money off Funko and Gears at the same time by putting them together?
They literally, this is what they tried to do. They were like, we will just try and capitalize off this as much as we can. Like, why the hell am I pre-ordering a free-to-play mobile game? Who does that? Why would I pre-order that? Why do I need to pre-order a free-to-play mobile game? Do you know how stupid that sounds?
It doesn't even... it's just a tower defense game. Just a tower defense game.
It's not even that.
Not even a good tower defense game by the looks of it. It looks like a grindy, looty tower defense game based around two big franchises that, Funko, which I like Funko. Gears, don't really have a care for Gears, but put them together, mash it up with a tower defense game with a lot of grindy shit. So, no one's interested. Moving on. State of Decay 2 Heartland, downloadable content for State of Decay players that's available today. Looks okay. I don't know. I mean, apparently the game wasn't that good. I was a big fan of State of Decay 1, but I wasn't that much of a fan of State of Decay 2. Not a lot of people were. It is on Game Pass by the looks of it, so it's included. You can go and play it for free if you have the Game Pass, so it's not a bad thing, but don't know. Again, normal zombie game, bit more DLC for it. Now, something that is interesting, Sega's bringing another version of Phantasy Star Online 2 to the West. This
game was announced in 2012 to becoming the Western announcement of Phantasy Star Online, as Japan has had this game for years. So, it's finally coming out on Xbox One and PC, which is a little bit weird that I think it's exclusive, isn't it? For Xbox One and PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to upset a few people because I think, I was talking to a couple of, my uncle's friends and that, and they were quite excited about it, but I don't know if they know that it's an exclusive because they are PS4 players. So, have to break the news to them about that. Yeah, it's crossplay between PC and Xbox One. As I said, this game has been coming out for 8 years and has been in Japan for more than that. So it's just a long time coming, and it's finally coming. So yeah, that's really cool. Also, we've just got like another game as well. Is this when Xbox just started announcing bullshit? The Crossfire X is like a Valve Counter-Strike series. Like, it's a Asia-based franchise that's like popular. I guess we're gonna try and make it popular in Western audiences, but I don't think it's really gonna be that popular. We've got enough of these kind of shooting games around for people to really make a decision that they don't really want to play another one. Like, you know, we have Rainbow Six Siege, which does pretty well, and we have Counter-Strike that does pretty well as well. So I don't know. I guess it does look really interesting, but it's just a cinematic. And
no, it doesn't. I'm just going to say it. If this game's already out there and they're bringing the franchise to Xbox in 2020 first, and they're just showing a cinematic, and they're comparing it to Counter-Strike, well, why is there no gameplay? Like, there should be gameplay.
Oh yeah. Also, do you know what like is weird as well? That is coming out like in like 2020, like next year. Like, why is the game, if the game is already a franchise, like, why can't it just be ported to the Xbox One? Like, I don't get it.
They must be remaking it or something, or doing something to it. It's a new version, so they're bringing a new version to the West, by the looks of it, or a new version, and then the new version is coming to everywhere, including the West.
Wait, so it's just called Crossfire. So Crossfire X is the Xbox One version of the game.
Yeah, I think it's Crossfire 10, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really caught up with stuff like that. But they sort of went a bit off here and started announcing a lot of, I don't know, Asian stuff. You know, Tales of Arise was announced then. The next entry in Bandai Namco's ongoing, RPG series, well, Japanese JRPG series.
Mm-hmm.
Looked okay. To me, didn't look anything special. You know, I've seen better JRPGs. And again, it was only a cinematic, so we don't really know what to expect from it. But if you're a fan of that series, then it's nice to know that it's coming to consoles and PC in 2020.
Yeah, and it's also like a Japanese game, and a lot of these games don't get adaptation, so for it to be coming in English for Western audiences is just always a bonus to get some of these nice Japanese gems that sometimes are overlooked and left out of the conversation due to some of the heavier studios and developers coming out with big AAA titles. Yeah, we had another Borderlands, like, whatever. I can't be arsed with Borderlands, to be honest.
Yeah, we've already discussed Borderlands.
Yeah, it's just being forced down our throat now, and Randy Pitchford is a piece of shit, and I don't really want to support him. Like, it's true though, isn't it? He's a piece of shit. Like, he's in so much trouble right now. He's getting done for like fraud. He had porn on his USB. He's just he's a piece of work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really got much more to say about him. Yeah, we've got From Software and George R. Martin. I don't know who the hell allowed him to make a game, but From Software thought it was a good idea to make a game with him. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about this game. It doesn't really seem too different to what I already expect out of these two people.
To me, it seemed like it was just Lord of the Rings, sort of. It took a lot from Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
it just reminded me of like Dark Souls again. Like, it's just gonna be another one of those games. Like,
Dark Souls crossed with Lord of the Rings, literally is. Like, look at it. It's Dark Souls at the start, and then there's this ring, and someone's banging the ring, and the ring's important, and someone destroys the ring, and it's Lord of the Rings.
Exactly, but it's not. It's Elden Rings.
Yeah, okay. Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I mean, I noticed that there's not even a coming soon at the bottom. It just says Elden Ring. Not even a coming soon, not even a year, because this guy can't finish shit, and this game's not coming out until like 2070.
Yeah, 2077.
Yeah, that'll be when the game comes out. The year that Cyberpunk 2077 is based in, that's when this game will come out.
Fuck. Yeah, it probably will still, because I already know your thoughts and feelings on him and Game of Thrones, and I've spoken to quite a few people over the weekend about how they felt about Game of Thrones, and they're just not really happy at all. So I don't know.
I mean, it could be a good game, but again, we're just seen a cinematic. There's no release date. There's no year, anything like that. All we know is it's coming to Xbox and PC. So it's not even coming to PS4 or anything. So we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But oh well. Surprised it's not coming to PS4 actually. From Software. Surprising that, but
I know. I feel like it is. I feel like this is just a announcement. I don't think it's exclusive.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, you can see at the beginning whether it's an announcement or exclusive, because if it's a world premiere, but it doesn't say whether it's a world premiere or not. It just says it just plays. So that could maybe suggest that it could be an Xbox exclusive. But I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it.
Just say at the end what consoles it's coming, well, what platforms it's coming to, but obviously they don't mention PS4 a lot, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, and then we've got
the big news to end.
The two big pieces of news that we already knew was coming anyway, and but it just kind of confirms all of the rumors and stuff that we've been discussing over the past year that we've been doing the show. Project Scarlet 2020 holidays, which is super soon. So I'm guessing we're going to see a reveal of the console probably within next year, or maybe the end of this year. What are you thinking?
E3.
What are you thinking?
Next E3.
Next E3. There's not much really to say about this at this point anymore. Still, like, other than Halo looks really fucking sick, and I think Xbox has a really powerful piece of hardware. So it's going to be an interesting new and potentially last console era. And I am excited to see what Xbox has in store. Because the Halo trailer did look really good.
Mm-hmm. They did announce a lot of sort of specifications about it in their little
video
they
did.
They talked about.
They did a little rundown of like a few things that they're looking to focus on, like increasing like the frame rate and making sure that gameplay is smooth, and they were talking about the graphical fidelity of the game, and a couple of buzzwords and stuff. But
loading times, SSDs, ray tracing.
Yeah.
Basically, what we've heard from the PS4 camp, PS5 camp as well. So it's pretty much the same by the looks of it. Both using AMD chips again. Both scaling to 8K. Both are using GDDR6 RAM, I believe, is what they've said. Super fast SSDs that are designed just for the consoles. They're trying to make ray tracing as good as possible. I don't know. Load times is a big thing for them. That's basically it. Frame rate as well. I don't think PlayStation mentioned frame rate. Xbox have mentioned frame rate.
Which is
they want to try and get
important.
up to 120 frames per second.
That's insane. We did say
that will not be at 4K.
Oh, of course not. You're gonna have to compromise, maybe dropping down to 1080, maybe even 720 if you want to have that kind of power on a console. So, wow, yeah, that's gonna be insane. But we did say as well that there would be a focus and a push for frame rate rather than graphical fidelity now. But it seems like they found a way how to focus on both. Whereas, you can still do the 4K and the 8K for whatever reason, and you can have the frame rate push as well. So this is going to be really interesting. As I said, Halo looks sick, right? So that was in-game engine footage as well. So, and I believe that from Halo, because Halo usually looks like what it's usually shown off as. So very interested to see that. Just, I know the Halo story is just gone to shit now though, so I think it's a little bit crazy how like Chief is still around and now they're coming back, and it's called Halo Infinite, so where could they really go after this Halo game? So this is the sixth final game, but I doubt it. Halo has got Halo Wars 2 on the way. They've got like another Halo game on the way as well, so
this won't be the end of Halo. Halo, they said they launched the Xbox with Halo. They're going to launch this Xbox with Halo. Whether that sort of is the end of an era,
like full circle, kind of.
Yeah, but you launched the Xbox with Halo, and he said like it was the most successful thing then, whatever. But it's very different now. Very different now. Halo is not what it used to be. Xbox is not what it used to be. It's a very different playing field. So while it's good that a new Halo is coming out for Halo fans, and it is going to be coming to the Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, I'm not sure. I think it'll be a good game. It looks good. It's going to be good, but I don't know if it's going to live up to the Halo hype that, the first Halo. I don't think anything can sort of Halo 1, Halo 2 sort of do what they did. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will. Microsoft didn't put on not that bad of a show, to be honest. Not that bad of a show. I don't really have much negativity to say towards Microsoft, other than it was a lot of just announcement trailers for dates. They also did their little thing where they like to throw in like it's a world premiere, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. And also they were very ambiguous and vague with some of their games, and if they are going to be featured only on Xbox or with just a Game Pass, like we needed maybe sometimes a little bit more clarification on whether that will be available on PC and console, or whether that is an Xbox exclusive only, or whether that's just a world exclusive or a timed exclusive. I didn't see many things saying, it usually precurses it saying that this is a timed exclusive or this is a Xbox only exclusive. Like it had that for a few games, but not many. Oh shit. I've seen what Nintendo announced, which is crazy. So can't wait to get on that as well.
What did you think overall out of 10 for Microsoft?
Overall out of 10 for Microsoft, I give them a 6. I give them a 6.
6?
Why? What are you giving them?
I'd probably go for like a 8.5. I was quite impressed with it all.
They
let themselves down in some areas, like the Gears Funko shit and the Lego DLC for Forza.
Am I being too harsh?
Well, it's your opinion.
I think I was going to go with a 6, because I always let my bias show in it. Like, I'm a Sony fanboy. Like, I don't really like Xbox that much, but they did pretty well. I'm going to bump them up to a 7. I feel like they deserve a 7. I understand what they're trying to do. I liked the Project Scarlet announcement because it shows their dedication to pushing technology forward, and they're trying to really release some really hard first-party titles, and they're really making a play with all of these studios that they keep acquiring. So I am very interested, actually, in the future of Xbox. Seeming as I have a really capable PC now, I'm quite happy to invest in the Game Pass or Xbox games as well. And I also have an Xbox One, so I can still play some of those games as well on an actual console. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I'll give it a 7. A 7 out of 10 is me. What you're thinking?
Well, mine's an 8.5. I don't think I want to change from an 8.5. I think it's the best conference we've seen this year, maybe.
Well, it's better than Sony's State of Plays. It's better than those.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Still 8.5. I think it was solid. I think they did a good job. I don't think there was anything there that was like too cringy for me. It all worked really well. Showed a lot of good games off. Not all of them exclusive, no, but we've seen new games, more details about games that we'd seen before. A lot of release dates. Keanu Reeves was on stage. Like, yeah. I know that's not all them, but for that I still, still going to give them the 8.5 for that. I think it was a solid conference from Xbox. Not including the Gears trailer, the controller, the Forza DLC, and the Gears Pop stuff. That's when it went a bit downhill, but they made it back up at the end. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. Also, they had a little section in there about their cloud system, the Cloud X system, and how that's going to be utilized a lot more in the future, and is going to become integral to the Xbox's quality of life and the services going forward. So that's very interesting as well, seeing as Sony just partnership with Microsoft to work on cloud-based services and games that's, working forward with the future with their new consoles. So I'm liking the unity amongst the companies. As I said, I feel like the old guard, which is like Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft are like kind of a little bit scared of like the new guard, which is obviously like, the Amazon, Apple, and Google, which are trying to make leaps into the gaming industry now. So
yeah, they're trying to form a super group.
Yeah, basically.
It's like when One Direction were formed, and then, Take That decided now's the time for us to get back and reclaim our space at the top. A bit like that.
It's kind of a little bit like that still, except for, I don't know, Take That's kind of a little bit like a lackluster comparison. But I understand the analogy. Like, if you're not like familiar with those, that's like an old British group and a new British group. So
everyone's familiar with Take That.
Yeah, Direction. It's kind of like Odd Future coming back together to try and like go against Brockhampton. That's a much more modern take on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's about it really. Microsoft did well. 7 out of 10 from me and an 8.5 from Tom. Thank you for listening again as always. This was Microsoft E3 2019. To the next show. Thanks. Goodbye. Welcome to E3's coverage. Welcome to... Fuck this. Fuck this.